Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Jesse, also known as Sublime, and today we are playing yet another spin and go. This is some of my favorite game modes in PokerStars VR, and we are spinning for 200k. But before we get into the commentary, I want to give a shout out to my Discord. Now, if you guys haven't joined my Discord already, all you have to do is go down into the description, click that button, click join. The reason I'm saying this is because we got plenty of giveaways that's going to be happening pretty soon, and we got lots of tournaments coming up and so many different things to do with this community. So if you guys haven't joined that, make sure you guys join ASAP. You don't want to miss out on any of that. So we're starting off here on the table with a Jack 2. The flop came out Ace 9 Jack, and then in turn came out a 6. I'm thinking I have probably the best hand on the table right now with the Jack, and then out comes on the river a 2. I throw out a bet for 75. We get Glenn over here to call it, and I end up taking that pot home. I take 260 to start it off. I'm just resetting my position there, as you can see. And now we're on a small blind here. We got a Jack Queen offsuit, and I throw out a bet. I call it only for 10. I don't raise it or nothing. I don't want to raise alarm after that last hand. And the oh my god, I can't speak. The flop comes out 2-6-6. With 2 clubs on the board, so there's a potential for a 3 of a kind. There's also potential for flush. We both just end up folding it though when Glenn raises it all in. So it's all good in the hood. We're sitting here. We're sitting pretty good. We get a 2-4 in the button position though. We just end up folding that away. It's still pretty early on into the tournament, so there's no need to kind of rush into things and play those hands. The flop comes out Ace-Ace-10 though, so that would have not been any help to us at all. Glenn's sitting there, he's talking after Lord Crowbar checked it. He keeps talking, and he's talking away. He's talking, and he just checks it. Lord Crowbar checks that back to him. We do end up matching our 2s from what we had before. But I don't think an ace, with the Ace-10s, I think I would have been folded a long time ago. Lord Crowbar shows he has a 10, and he ends up taking that pot home. On the big blind now, we got an Ace-3 offsuit. You guys know my motto. When you have an ace and a spin and go, it's like a pot of gold. Right, so I end up raising it to 50 here. We're waiting on Lord Crowbar to either call, fold, and he ends up folding it away, and we get a little bit of his blinds back. Then we end up getting a 5-ace offsuit on the small blind. Now, because I'm not really in position, I'm not on my big blind, I see no reason to raise it. I just call for the 15. It comes out 6-3-5, all are with 2 clubs on the board. And then it comes out a 9 of hearts. We're both checking back and forth. I mean, I have the second highest, or the third highest pair on the board, yes, but there's a lot of cards on the board. There is a flush draw. I don't want to take a chance of betting it. Oh my god, I am yawning today, but I didn't want to take a chance of betting it and then be fucked over by the clubs that showed up. We get an ace-ace. We get the pocket rockets right here, right? I'm thinking to myself, okay, we're going to have a good time. It's going to be a good time. We're going to get lots of callers. We're going to bust these guys out right here in this instant. But it's my option now. I end up throwing out a bet for 30. The minimum bet you can put out on the table. Glenn ends up folding that away. He's trying to get his card past that little barrier. And Crowbar ends up folding it right away too. I'm like, are you guys kidding me? I wanted a caller, but nobody ended up calling me. We then get 2-7 with diamonds in the big blind position. 2-7 is one of my... It's a love-hate relationship, but we don't even got to worry about it. Crowbar ends up folding it, and we don't even got to play it and make that bad decision. We end up getting a king 3 here on a small blind. We end up just calling it for 20. Everybody ends up checking behind. Queen Jack 10 comes out on the flop though. And as you guys can see, I have a straight draw. So all we need is an ace, or we need a 9. And we have 9 preferably, so we could have the highest straight. When I looked at that card, when a 6 came out, I remember this very distinctly. I remember seeing a heart and I was like, oh no. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's a 9. I have a straight. And then I looked at it again and it was a 6. I was like, oh my god. I got hyped and not hyped and hyped again. And yeah, we wouldn't have won anything, so good thing we didn't go in with these guys. Glenn was all in for that one. Don't really know what he was doing, but nonetheless, Glenn is out of the competition. We're now heads up between me and Lord Crowbar. The two Canadians that are sitting at this table are fighting against each other now. And this was a very long and grindy heads up between me and this Lord Crowbar guy. I'll tell you what, I had a lot of fun playing against Lord Crowbar. But this is probably one of the longest, and I mean longest, heads up I've played in Spin and Go in this game in a while. We end up getting a 10 king here on the big blind though, and I raised it up to 50 just to make the pot a little bit more equitable. Like when you have cards like that, you don't want to just call, especially in heads up. Like those are two very, very good cards to have in heads up. So we just end up checking it out, and he had the higher kicker than I did. He had the king queen, I only had the king 10. So good thing we did check, because if he would have called, then he would have beaten me there. So I say that's good. Now we're heads up. We got a pair of 2s here on the big, or on the small blind, sorry. The flop comes out 4, 9 queen, and then an ace and a 4 on the turn and river. He kept checking it through. I'm like, okay, well, he probably doesn't have anything. So I end up throwing out a bet for 60. He indeed did not have anything as far as I know, and he ended up just folding that away. We then get a jack ace of clubs on the big blind, which Lord Crowbar immediately throws away. He folds, so I can't even play the cards, which sucks. I really wanted to get those cards played, but you know, everything happens for a reason, right? We get an ace 4 though on the small blind, and the flop comes out 6 jack 7, and then on the turn and river a 5 and a 9. No flushes. There's a potential straight draw, but I call this particularly because we checked everything out, and you know, I didn't expect him to have a straight, which he did have a straight. So good on him for checking it out and kind of playing it low key, getting a little value out of me, because if he probably would have bet anything, because I had absolutely nothing, right? I would have folded that instantly. So good on him for holding out like that. We then get a 3 queen 6 on the flop. In our small blind we have a 9 jack. He ends up throwing out a bet for 60. I immediately just toss that away. I want nothing to do with it, and we did have nothing to do with it. We folded it away. We then get a 10-4. I fold that away. Our Lord Crowbar folds away his, so I don't even get a chance to play that. We then get a king queen of hearts. Very much like this hand. You know, it's a solid hand to play with. The flop comes out jack 2-2 though. I end up raising to about 100 on that flop, and Lord Crowbar ends up just folding that away. We then get a jack ace on our big blind here. But we don't get a chance to play it yet again, because Crowbar can sense every time I have good cards, I'm just going to throw the cards away. We then get a jack 6 offsuit on a small blind. We just make a small little call. The flop comes out king 7 jack with 2 diamonds on the board. I end up betting 100 because, you know, I'm trying to feel it out, see what he has. He obviously had nothing because he folded, so we end up taking that pot home as well. And we're at this point kind of just raking up on the blinds. For sure we're ahead in chips, I'm thinking in my head. We're about 795 to about 500 here. We get an 8-2, but I don't want no part in that. Nobody likes playing an 8-2, so I just end up folding that away. Because, fuck 8-2s. Then we get a 7-3 here on our big blind. Luckily, we don't have nothing to do with it. We don't have to play it because Lord Crowbar just folds it away. At this point, we're just playing a game of blinds, right? I have a 3-5 here. He accidentally showed me his cards. I said, buddy, I just saw your cards, so I threw in a bet so he can fold. You're not really supposed to show your cards like that, and I don't feel comfortable, so I kind of just said, hey, I'm betting here. I don't want to know what your cards are going forward. So, yeah, he just folded for me, which was really nice. He could have kept playing that, but his equity in his hand was terrible, so obviously, why would he be playing that? We have a 9-2 here, though, in our big blind, and, yeah, this was a really shitty hand. He beat us with a 7 kicker. We only had a 2 kicker. He had a 7 kicker, so obviously he beat us. Now we're in our small blind now, and we get a queen ace. Very nice hand. The flop comes out for queen 10, all spades. So I have the ace of spades, so I'm thinking this could be a very nice pot. We have the pair of queens, and we also have the ace of spades. But luckily for us, we hit the full house on the river. And even if he had a straight draw, or not a straight, a flush draw, there was no way he could win it. I have the nuts here at this point. So I end up raising him all in. He's humming and hawing. He's like, I don't know what to do, man. What am I supposed to do here? Do I call? And he flips over Jack. And I'm like, oh, that's such a hard hand to fold. And he did end up doing it. And I showed him my cards and I said, that was a really good laydown, man. Because, you know, you got to see in this situation, the odds of me having a queen with 2 queens on the board are very low. And in fact, having a full house on that board, very low. So it was nice to see. So we get queen king here on the big blind. It comes out king 6, 8, 4. And I end up betting 100. He looks at his cards. Pulls out his all-in chip. And he goes all in. Little did he know, this was the demise of his whole tournament. He had a king 10, I had a queen king. And we end up taking that pot home. So if you guys enjoyed this video, guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification so every time I upload, you know about it. Make sure you join the Discord like I said at the beginning of the video. There's so many things going on in there. Thank you guys for watching so much. You guys are truly some of the best fans on YouTube. Bye-bye now.